of this for the meatballs. Although, yeah, we're only going to use about half of this for the meatballs because this is 2 pounds. And you're doing good. I'm so glad to hear that, Andy. But I don't want to do that on my cutting board right now. As a matter of fact, let's move this baby for a second while we get the meat ready. That's a little harder to clean than the counter. So, Robbie, how are you doing? I'll do about half of this meat in here. That means I'm gonna have to do something with the other half of this meat this week because it had been in the freezer. You're better now that the sound is working. Do you need a second to get past that? He's quiet. Give him a second. He'll come back. He'll come back. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stick it in one of these. As I run around the kitchen like a maniac, we cleaned out Kelsey's room today. Not that hand. That hand is dirty. And cleaned out an attic. Robbie was super excited because there was a mouse trap in there with bones attached to it. Weren't you excited about that? No? You're just not excited about that? I thought you were. I thought you were super happy.
I didn't realize that one of my many jobs was exterminator.
Well, you didn't have to exterminate that mouse. That mouse had been dead for a very, very long time.
Rodent removal.
Well, you are. It's one of your many jobs. You are the animal wrangler in the house, right?
I hadn't seen something like that since my days on the farm, Dana.
You didn't get to hear me sing. Who sing? Oh, you sing.
Probably.
They didn't get to hear you sing?
One day.
I'm going to tell you, Andy.
I mean like never.
He was not just singing. Okay, so this slow cooker Swedish meatball recipe that I'm using is one that's trying to be good and not have any gluten in it. So they're using almond flour only in it. I'm going to use the this mix. So it has white rice flour, potato starch, some sorghum flour, some tapioca flour. I'm going to use that instead of the almond flour because I love almond flour if I'm baking something and I want it to have a little bit of an almond taste. But it has a flavor that comes through that's almond. So if you don't want an almond flavor, and I'm thinking in my Swedish meatballs I really don't, I'd rather use this. Okay, and I need a half a cup of it. Do you like my interpretive dance I was doing while Robbie was figuring out the sound?
Well, there might be a different version of that as one of the alerts, Dana.
All right, so a pound of ground beef. I've got a half a cup of flour. I'm gonna leave that nearby because I am gonna need that when we make a sauce. So I put Swedish meatballs in quotation marks because I don't think these are super authentic. I think this is somebody's way of making something that's gluten-free that tastes like a Swedish meatball. I was doing charades. Now, my feelings are very hurt now that you thought that was charades and not dancing.
She was saying, fix the sound already, sound guy.
I wasn't. I was
what do
very
I pay
calm.
you for?
You make me sound like a monster.
And I'm like, Dana, you get what you pay for. I don't know what to tell you.
Is that what my food is worth?
Well, you don't generally pay professionals in food. So clearly I'm not a professional.
Ding, ding, ding. All right. I'm gonna set that there. I'm gonna chop up a ton of garlic because I need garlic for several recipes, just like I did last time. So anytime I'm doing an ingredient that I know I'm gonna need for something else, I might as well do it all at the same time. Of course, where are all my little bowls? Did they go up here? They did. They did, because I don't need more garlic than this today. So I'm excited, Robbie, because I contacted one of our hotels and they said they can help me set up a cooking class. Not for me to give, for them to teach me how to do, Italian cooking in Tuscany. I'm going to use all the bowls. I'm going to use a lot of them. I do have some dancing skills. Most of them, I can't move the way I used to, but I have taken tap, ballet, ballroom. Robbie's taken ballroom dance, dancing with me. I finally figured out the trick to teaching him how to dance. It was to make it like it was a spreadsheet, like the floor was a big spreadsheet. Keep one foot in this cell at all times, and you can go over a column this way or that way. You can go down a row. You can go up a row. It worked, didn't it? He's like, I admit to nothing.
I admit to nothing, but we should probably look into spreadsheet dancing and trademarking that.
So, I'll let you answer that question, Robbie. Because he went with me, and he did really well. He did better than he thought he did. You just gotta be afraid. You're 6'2". You can't be afraid to take up real estate. You're staring at me. Why are you staring at me? We're gonna be doing a lot of garlic chopping here. He's just staring at me. Why? Yes, garlic. Is that Hippie's garlic? This garlic is not in the best shape, but it's the only garlic I have. So it's what we're gonna use. I only bought this last week. It really shouldn't be a problem. But somehow it is. So I get that part out there. Whew, okay, so lots of garlic. What else can I tell you guys? I'm so excited. I started getting my knee injections last week. While my knee isn't feeling better yet, this has been almost a year I've been trying to get this to happen. Ever have that? Like you want to do something and it just takes forever? I mean, some of you don't have to worry about insurance companies, which is great. Some of us have to find a doctor who's willing to fight with them about the thing that you need for your knees, because I got to be in shape for Italy. We're working on now all our tickets for the things that we need tickets for in advance, and I'm going to work on transportation from one part of Italy to the other. If you guys have any tips, because you've been there before, we would love to hear them. What are your favorite places in Italy? What else needs to be chopped? You know what, there's gonna be a lot of chopping and a little bit more Dr. Pepper. Right now, there's not a lot of chopping, but there will be. I've got a list. So, whoops. I'm just gonna do a lot of garlic so I can get our dinner started, because this is the only thing I need to chop for the dinner, I think, yeah. But after that, you want to see the list? I'll show you the list. Oops, that's not it. All this stuff down here needs to be chopped. Robbie's looking forward to it. I can tell by the look on his face. Good times, good times. So, Has anybody been to Cinque Terre in Italy? Man, to have that stuff at your back door, like be in Europe and just be able to go, I can go take a weekend and go to Italy. As opposed to, I can take a weekend and, go to Arkansas. There's nothing wrong with Arkansas. There's some beautiful parts of it. The food in Arkansas, unless you're at Montana Max's, is probably not quite the same as if you're in Italy. So, Robbie, do you feel like you accomplished a lot yesterday?
I do. I did a lot.
You did do a lot. I feel like you did.
Still feel like I could have done a lot more.
You know what? There's always more to do. But sometimes you got to stop and say, you know what? Let's take a breather here. Let's just do that. I'm trying to be methodical here, and it's maybe I'm not as fun if I'm not twirling around the kitchen out of control. I don't know. All right, garlic. So those oils in the garlic, as soon as you start cutting the garlic, you start losing some of that sharpness of the flavor, which is why I didn't want to do it earlier. And it's why I used to buy that pre-minced garlic, and that's a great place. It still has a good garlic flavor, but I realize I like chopping my own garlic better. So, Robbie and I went to a demonstration the other night of somebody who has an automatic chopper of things. And then he's like, because you don't like chopping, do you? And I said, actually, I do. What fun would it be? How could we redeem for you to chop stuff? You'd be like, okay, fine, I'll chop that.
Then I'd be done in like 30 seconds.
So I'm going to do about half of this, get it all done, and then do the other half, because did that even make sense? That didn't even really make sense. I don't know. So tomorrow's yoga is going to be about mindfulness. How many of you practice mindfulness on a daily basis? Do you? Do you, Robbie?
Not as much as I should.
It'll help with your word for the year, if that's your word for the year. But you still haven't told me if it is or not. Are you shaking your head because it's not your word? Or are you shaking your head at why are you bringing that up again?
I think my word for the year is new puppy.
New puppy? Oh.
Yeah.
So when you brought the Velociraptor into our house, that wasn't enough.
When I did. Well, that's interesting. Rocky's over here like, I hear people talking about me.
It's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Rocky's ears were burning.
But yeah, if you ever want to try some yoga, it's gentle yoga. Anybody can do it. I give modifications. If you want to try it and you're like, but I'm going to have to sit in a chair because getting off the floor is going to be too hard for me, let me know. I have a sheet. I talk you through it, but I have a sheet that shows those poses as well that I can send you with those modifications, which I'm excited because I found a site that will let me sequence the things, but also put modifications for people who need them in it. So anybody can do it. You don't have to have any experience whatsoever doing yoga. You just have to. Yoga is all about showing up. That's what it is. And I started off by saying I'm going to do this for January, but there seem to be quite a few people in there, so we'll keep doing it for March.
You mean February?
February. Maybe March too. I don't know, Robbie. You know, months, days, times, they're all just relative to me.
I mean, the year's going by pretty fast. Maybe I missed something. It was almost March already.
I can't believe it's almost the end of January already. And I'm excited because this week, Kelsey is coming in town. So she may be on the stream on Thursday. On Thursday, we're going to make lasagna. Hi, Rocky. How are you, buddy? You guys see him? Not really. There he is. Being a pain in the butt. You can't have garlic, buddy. It's not good for you.
More Dr. Pepper redeemed puppy cam.
Puppy cam.
Puppy cam, Rocky.
I need to remember to, I haven't had enough water today. I do need to remember to drink some water today. Well, thank you, Dungeon Nerdy, for waking me up. Maybe get some energy going. Woohoo. You know what I need? Maybe I need coffee.
Coffee?
Maybe I don't need coffee. That might be bad.
And we do have a entire stream to tear down and rebuild after the stream, so you might need coffee.
I might. Because that's the thing, the yoga's great, but Robbie isn't here in the morning. So we have to, after this, after we clean the kitchen, and after...
Hi, Miss Sarah Lynn.
Miss Sarah Lynn's in
Working
the
on
house. Hello, lovely lady.
Getting
How are
puppy
you?
cam up and going here.
Yep, we've got a puppy cam. Throw that away. I'm
See
making
if
a
this
mess.
works.
It didn't work. It works now. Woohoo!
I see a puppy.
It wasn't. We couldn't get it to work on Thursday. So, how are you doing, Miss Sarah Lynn? How are you feeling? If you want to come to yoga tomorrow, it's all about mindfulness. I can send you some modifications for some kind of illustrations of the modifications if you want for the poses. And then you can choose what you want to do. We're doing pretty good. I think, we got a lot done the last couple of days. I feel a little lazy, but when I look back and see what we accomplished, like I cleaned out Kelsey's closet, and now my loft is a mess because she's coming in town and I need her to go through her stuff and decide what's going to be kept in the attic here, what she wants to take, and what we can get rid of because we're going to be using her room for Robbie's office, which for some reason Robbie has decided he wants it to stay the same blue color that it is, which seems very colorful for him. All right, let's get this cleaned up here. That doesn't mean put it on the counter, but apparently that's what I do. And we'll start making our meatballs here.
Sarah says she's setting an alarm for tomorrow.
You are. Excellent. We'll love to see you there.
Hopefully I'll be in there. I might be in a meeting though. We will have to see.
I hope somebody's in their body because it's hard for me to do while I'm doing yoga poses. All right. So in here, I've got my ground beef. I've got some flour. I covered up what I'm doing here, some salt. I need a couple of teaspoons of garlic. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna get a teaspoon out. That's weird, isn't it? Dana's gonna measure something. And she's not even baking. 1, 2. You have anything going this week? You keep getting sidetracked on Monday mornings? Yes. I mean, I know that feeling. There are many times I've missed things that I meant to go to, or I'm like, oh, I have 30 minutes until my yoga practice, till my instructor starts something, and then I'll notice 35 minutes later that I'm still sitting where I was. All right. So I don't want to over mix this. That's a lot of flour. I'm going to tell you right now that feels like a lot of flour. And then I'm going to get my little scoop thing here. And we're going to make small meatballs for this. So what we're starting with, if you're just coming in, is we're going to make some Swedish meatballs. It's a new recipe for me. And it's supposed to be more kind of keto friendly, healthier for you kind of meatball. So that's...
It already smells good.
Does it?
Yes.
You can smell the garlic.
Well, and the meat. I'm like, I'm hungry now.
Well, yeah, so you're going to have to wait.
I had a snack. I should be okay, but that's
You want to help
really
me
good.
roll these? It'll go faster. That's how it'll go faster. He's saying no. I'll just slow down. It'll be a 5-hour stream. So our last meal prep stream was long. It was almost 4 hours, I think. You're going to head down to Kyle's hometown again next weekend to help finish your niece's house. Well, that's kind of cool. I mean, my exciting plans this way. I mean, Kelsey's coming in town, so I am excited about that. There's Rocky. But mostly work-related stuff. And still making plans for Italy. These keep getting bigger. Not doing very good here. I'm making really, really big meatballs. We want them to all be the same size because I need them to cook at about the same rate. Pops, hello. Hello, Pops. How are you doing? Let's give Pops a shout out. Pops, you can even give yourself a shout out. So Rocky's helping Robbie over there. So just a lazy Sunday. We kind of didn't do a ton. Let's see here. Can we see Rocky? I can't see the cameras or the OBS. Nope, can't see him. Oh, there he is. He's helping Robbie. Even though he's being a pain. It's like, you know what? He's usually really pretty good about, and then somewhere around 5 o'clock on stream days, he decides he's going to be a pain. So it's kind of fun. What are some of mine and Robbie's favorite food movies? That is a really good question. What about you, Robbie? We're doing pretty good, Pops. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? Was it exciting to have a nice lazy Sunday? Oh, so can you not watch the stream on Thursdays because of your work schedule, Pops? Because I'm putting February together, and I want to make sure you can be there for your food redemption, which is, I think we decided on a sushi bake. Is that what we decided? So I haven't seen Menu yet. I'd like to go see Menu. What was that other one? It's such a hard question because what makes it a food movie? We watched a bunch of, really sappy, feel-good Hallmark Food Network movies that were more Hallmarky. But, oh, that's right. We didn't give a shout out to Pikes and Lady. Okay, so we got 3 people that you guys got to go follow if you're not following them yet. You got to go follow Darth. You've got to go follow Pops. And you got to go follow Pikes and Lady. All good stuff. I'm not ignoring your question about your favorite food movie. I just don't know that I have one. Do you have a favorite food movie? Yeah.
Ratatouille's pretty good.
Ratatouille is awesome. Who doesn't like a rat cooking your food? Apparently they're gross if they're in a mousetrap in your attic, but it's okay if they cook you food.
And that one did not cook me food, Dana.
That's the problem.
So he was gross.
I guess that's the problem. I think these are gonna fall apart because it's so much flour. I was gonna say something and I have totally forgotten what it was. That's the way my brain is today. Old brain. Oh, Julie and Julia, that was a good movie. Chef, that was good. No Reservations. I don't know that I've seen that one. Ooh, you know what I did like? I liked, was it called Pig? Was that the Nicolas Cage one?
That somebody watched without me?
You didn't tell me you wanted to watch it. All right.
Announcer voice. He did tell her he wanted to watch it.
Was I sleeping when you told me this? You've watched movies I've wanted to watch. And I'll be like, we should watch this. And he'll go, I bet I watched it already. Or he'll start telling me, he goes, okay, I watched this documentary. And it was about this. And I'll be like, wait, you watched it without me. I mean, it's going to happen. The Menu movie is good. That's the one I want to see next. But I don't think I've seen No Reservations. But then, I don't know, I should know my favorite movie because my first major was a radio TV film. And I used to have to watch movies all the time. Because we would break them down and stuff. Did Robbie get a snack? He says he got himself a snack, Darth. I did not give him one.
Darth!
Oh, we need the... You did it. Hi, Elser. How are you? How's Monday treating you? So, see, I forgot what I was going to say again, Robbie. I had it back and it's gone again. It must be important. Must be really, really important. Oh, did you guys, on Thursday, it was a crazy night on Thursday because we started here and then we went over to John Lung's place, virtually, and cooked dumplings. And I've never spent over 3 hours cooking dumplings before. But I did. They were really good. John does have a lot of energy, Pops. He's stealing it from some of us, I'm pretty sure. These just aren't rolling up because there's so much flour in them. I feel like it needs a binder of some sort, like an egg.
Your recipe's more on the keto-friendly side.
No, not usually. So I'm not always doing like a keto thing. If you want keto, when Nikki does, little Miss Nikki, she does keto almost exclusively because her husband needs it for health reasons. But I'm looking for things that don't have gluten in them. So I could have taken a regular Swedish meatball thing and modified it pretty easily to not have gluten in it and just use gluten-free breadcrumbs or whatever. But I'm trying to eat healthier, also for health reasons. So my word for the year is health, which is why we're doing meal prep on these Sundays. That's really to get me into the habit of, if I know I'm gonna have a busy week, putting a bunch of stuff together so Robbie and I just don't go out to eat all the time. So I try to make Twitch part of my real life thing. So we'll be doing lasagna on Thursday. That will not be keto friendly at all.
But it will be delicious.
Yeah, and this one's not keto friendly because I swapped out the almond flour for the gluten-free AP flour, but that uses rice and tapioca and stuff, which isn't keto friendly. But it is at least gluten-free, so there's that. You're surprised how much money not ordering takeaway is saving you. I know, isn't it crazy? And you know what, Pops, for me, I've been planning more meals out in the week and making them on Sunday. So I've had less food spoil And I've been spending less at the grocery store because I'm only buying what I need. Because I don't go, well, maybe I'll have extra this later in the week. I'm just like, nope, sticking to what I have planned. And I'm spending about probably a good 30% less at the grocery store, which is crazy. So, lasagna. Darth is in. Yes, we're going to do lasagna. I'll get gluten-full bread for Robbie and Kelsey and Johnny. If they're here for dinner. I don't know if they will. So you make it Chaos Kitchen with my daughter and her boyfriend here. And there's a good chance if they're here, my youngest will show up too. So, when's the trashy recipe? Oh, I know, we need to do that. What day is good for you, Pops? We gotta get Darth in on that. So regrettable food. Although my mom had a bunch of recipes she gave me to do kind of a trashy, like the cheap food that's yummy, but you wouldn't want to admit that you love it kind of food. And haven't done that yet. You went to the grocery store hungry. Yeah, that's never a good idea. You should schedule for next month on a Monday. So you want to do it on a Monday? Let me take a look at my schedule and we'll do that. Trashy, like regrettable food, Darth, like the regrettable food channel and the Discord.
Who doesn't love a good microwave meat ring?
I know. So Robbie and I still want to go do an IRL stream and go pick out old cookbooks at Recycled. It might be a meat ring. Who knows? That's the whole point. Regrettable food.
I was gonna say, based on some of those I've seen, that might be a step up, depending on your take.
Some of those things, it's like, here's all of your food in Aspic, and I'm like, why? Why must I go through Aspic to get my food? I don't want to go through Aspic to get my food. I think of Aspic as like acrylic for food. So does that make sense, Darth? What we're talking about? These meatballs are not all the same size. They're gonna fall apart because this is way, I think this is way too much flour without a binder in it. Like if I'd known they were gonna do this, I probably would have added an egg to them. But that's how, because I don't test the recipes, you get to see the problems with them. Or maybe it's me. Could be me. I don't know. I could be a problem. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. You don't think I'm the problem? That's good to know. I'm assuming that's what that look meant. Unless you were like, duh. So is there anything from your childhood, from anybody that you look back on and you go, I can't believe we ate that? Why did we make that? Let's see here. Now we're just getting to the parts where there's more and more flour on these. I'm probably not going to be able to do all of this because it's just not going to stick together. See, Robbie, it's just like falling apart. See if I mix it more.
Are your meatballs supposed to snow like that when you're making them?
No, Robbie, they are not. Oh my gosh. The microwave salmon ring is 40 followers. That's gonna smell so good, Pops, when you're making it. It's gonna be delicious. Okay. Whew. Maybe I'll get one more out. Let's see.
I mean, I know I'm excited about that show.
Are you? I'm
But-
more excited about seeing him have to eat the Sturmer.
Oh, no, that's definitely number one on the list. But one thing at a time, Dana.
Okay. I'm going
Rome was
to.
not built in a day.
I'm actually going to. This says to put these in the slow cooker with the sauce, and then let it cook for 6 hours. We're not doing that. I am going to pan fry these. Then I'm going to put them in the slow cooker with the sauce, and we'll let it cook for maybe an hour. But I want to get them started cooking before we put them in there so that they are cooked all the way through. I'm hoping that works. And I thought I wasn't going to get meat on my cutting board, but I was wrong. It's mostly flour, but a little meat. So we'll wash that. All right, pan. Let's get a pan.
Is it a ham in a pan?
It is not a ham in a pan. That one's gonna be too small. Oh my goodness, this one pot is not clean.
We got to reference that 2 nights ago. That was fun.
I know. So, what was that? My friend was cooking what? Something?
And it was almost a literal pan, too, which was even better.
Yes. So ham in a pan. You guys know this story, right? You're getting Chinese food. Well, I'm glad you're eating. I'm glad you're eating. I'm gonna let this heat up here for a second. Boy, I need to get here. Let this heat up, get the meatballs in here, let them cook. While they're cooking, we're gonna make the sauce for our Swedish meatballs, which won't be too hard. I got that. Place meatballs, blah, combine sauce ingredients. Okay. We're gonna see if this is any good. I'm not really quite sure, but we're gonna try it because we're gonna be using, you know what, it uses coconut milk. I think I'm gonna substitute in something else because otherwise it's gonna have a coconutty flavor. We don't want coconutty flavor Swedish meatballs. But I also, can you check the other refrigerator and see if there's half and half or something like that in there? I've got fat-free milk, but I think it's gonna need some fat. So I'm making this not really healthy. See, fun. Let's see, so,
I found eggnog,
Yes.
Dana. Does that help?
eggnog? Yes, let's put eggnog in our Swedish
All right, eggnog it
meatballs.
is.
Who wants eggnog in their Swedish meatballs? Not good. So do you have anything interesting that happened over the weekend? Anything fun? No, not hot enough yet.
I mean, the highlight of my weekend was making new alerts that we'll see at some point. You haven't even seen one of them.
I haven't seen much of anything.
That's exciting when there's something on the stream that even Dana doesn't know about.
Is it? Is that exciting? It's worrying is what it is.
Well, it's all from the show, so you can't blame anyone but yourself. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
You signed the waiver.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was my friend was telling a story, and I said, "Why do you do it that way?" And she goes, "Because that's the way my grandmother taught me how to do it." Do you remember what that was? Was it doing her sausage gravy in a shallow thing, or was it something else?
Something along that line about using a certain type of pan or whatever, yeah.
And I'm like, why, if you've got to make so much, why don't you use a higher pan? Well, that's the way my grandmother taught me how to do it. So that's the way.
And we immediately turned and looked at each other.
And we were like, ham in a pan. So if you haven't heard the ham in the pan story, it's a really good one to use, because what it is it's about, we do things this way because that's the way it's always been done. It's basically the moral of the story. So the ham in a pan is, a woman is newlyweds. They're having her mother and her grandmother coming over for dinner, and father and grandfather, right? And so she's starting to make a ham, and before she puts it in the pan, she cuts off the front and the back of it. She sticks it in the pan, right? And her husband says, why do you cut off the front and back of the ham? And she goes, because that's the way my mom always did it. So when her mom came, she goes, hi, why did you always cut the front and back off of the pan? And she said, well, that's the way my mom always did it. So when she got there, they asked her the same question. Why, and I'm shortening this for you because some of you have heard this story before, why do you cut off the front and the back of the ham? And she goes, oh, well, I did that because the pan we had was too small to put the ham in. And she goes, I don't do it anymore. But that's the ham in the pan story, that people do things without knowing why they do them. So, is an instant trigger phrase at work. I was going to say, Pops, there are some things, right, probably in the military that are ham in the pan type things. All right, getting our meatballs in there. I did add a little oil. It's olive oil, so it's healthier. It has some good fats in it. So that is one way. I love butter. But now I'm...
Perfectly
You want me to move it for your shot?
Perfectly centered on the burner?
Is it perfectly
Yes.
centered on the burner? Okay. You say so. You're going to hear that over, this is the way we've always done it? Yeah. So it's one that they used in academics a lot, because there are a lot of things done in academics that there's just no reason. I had to do it when I went to grad school, so you have to do it. It's like, no. All right. There we go. Let's make our sauce. And then we'll decide if this is a recipe to keep or a recipe to give away. So I'm going to start. How much liquid is going in here? 1 cup, 1 cup. Enough that I want to use a bigger thing. I've got some beef broth here. A cup that we're going to put in there. And then we're going to put in a cup of half and half. This calls for coconut milk. I like coconut milk in some cases, but I would think, but only if I want the thing to have a coconut flavor to it. Does that make sense? Because there are certain substitutes people use, and I get that they have to for dietary reasons, health reasons, allergy reasons. But if you don't have them, there are sometimes things, and it's like, it adds a different flavor to it. So, all right, so we're gonna add a cup of this in here and hope that works. Cross your fingers. And give that back to you because there's not room in here. And then we're gonna do some flour in here. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna make a little slurry of it so that it doesn't, and it wants 3 tablespoons. Keep these so they don't burn. Turn over, let the other side cook. Get some browning on them. Because brown food tastes good. I know Swedish meatballs aren't usually super brown, but we're gonna make ours that way. You know why? Because they're my meatballs. That's why, Robbie. All right, so I need to take 3 tablespoons of this. That's a half a tablespoon, so I need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know it's using it as a way to thicken the sauce, so I'm not terribly concerned that it's not exact. And I'm going to put a little of this in here. And start. I keep losing my towel. And these pockets aren't as deep as my other ones that I'm used to. And what that does is that we can work out the lumps. It's easier to do it this way so it doesn't get lumps in a great big vat of things. Turn over here. And then we can add it in there. This says coconut aminos. I don't know if tamari is considered keto friendly or not. It doesn't have gluten in it. It's a byproduct of miso, making miso. But it is gluten-free. You can also buy gluten-free soy sauce, which I did not know until last year, actually. All right. So if something calls for like coconut aminos, that's just an umami flavor. So you can replace it with a different umami flavor that's going to meet kind of what you're doing. So for the coconut aminos, I'm going to use a little soy sauce in mine, but you could probably use Worcestershire sauce. You have a lentil curry recipe that asks for coconut milk. What could I say? Well, see, I think coconut milk in a curry is delicious because coconut and curries go together really well. That's what I would use the coconut milk in a curry, for sure. All right, we've got our slurry. We're gonna stick that in there, get that mixed up. I've turned the heat off of my meatballs. I'm just gonna let them sit there in the residual heat in the pan and continue cooking a little bit. I just don't wanna burn them. And if can you put this camera on? You can see there's not any lumps in here from the flour. So we're also going to put, so that we need about a tablespoon of that. This is a half a tablespoon, so we'll put 2 of these in there. We're gonna put some rosemary and some salt and pepper, and it says to taste, which I think is weird when it says, hey, taste this milk slurry thing and see if it tastes right. And I'm like, I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. So John, hello, how are you? What's up? Let's give a shout out to John. We were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? We were talking about making dumplings. It was so much fun, how much energy you had. So I can't wait to do something like that again. Thank you, John. I hope I do too. You've made it with the coconut milk and it was nice. I just don't, oh, you don't like coconut milk? I don't know what to replace that with. I'd have to do a little research because I think that that's part of the profile of the curry, right? So you're gonna change the flavor. But it's an excellent question. All right, we need some rosemary, salt and pepper. We need about a half a teaspoon of rosemary. I'm gonna get in here and crunch it up some so we can release some more oils. You can also heat it up in a pan if you want. Boop. Do I want a little? I want a little more. I'll put a little more in there. It's interesting that you like curries, but you don't like coconut milk, because I think of coconut milk with curries all the time. Then we need some salt and pepper. I started using diamond salt. I believe the reason why it's good to use is it doesn't have a bunch of anti-caking stuff in it. And then some pepper. You think of us who eat Japanese curry. Well, I know that Elser's usually eating things like buttered chicken and stuff. That's a lentil curry, which probably is not a Japanese curry. I want to make sure this is stirred up. Oh, what's seasoning? This is a pretty simple one. We're going to try it, Darth, because I think this is one of those recipes that if I like it enough, I'll play with it. I only put salt, pepper, and rosemary in here because that's all it calls for. And then the meatballs have garlic in it. But that's it. There's nothing. And then there's soy sauce in here. So we're getting some umami in there. And I was saying that if you're keto, actually I didn't put soy sauce. I put tamari because I don't have coconut aminos. Which is what the recipe calls for, but coconut aminos are really just an umami flavor. So we're gonna put our meatballs in here, and then I'm gonna get it started in the one pot, and we're gonna see how long this takes to cook. Oh, I need to put the meatballs in there first. That's not the meatballs. So let's get our meatballs in there. Now the recipe wants me to put these in here before they don't uncooked completely. I decided I wanted a little browning on mine. Plus I wanted to get them started cooking.
For me, I don't mind the flavor of coconut, but the texture of like shaved coconut, you could take that away.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
I agree. This did not all dissolve in my sauce here, so let's hope that it will as it heats up. So that's how they're gonna go into the one pot over here, and that'll be dinner tonight. I will make Robbie some egg noodles. I have got these healthy noodles that are fine. You know, they're missing all the good stuff,
She
but
sounds excited about the healthy noodles.
I do. I have misdone it then. All right. Let's go with that. I'm gonna go with meat and stew. I am going to, it's only letting me go 40 minutes. Oh, that wants me to do pressure. I don't want that. Cancel. Let's go down. We're not gonna do pressure cooking. I don't want 6 hours. Oh. Seriously? You're gonna make me do 6 hours? You can tell I use this a lot. I really don't. All right, well, we're gonna start it on that. But it's not good, but we're gonna eat it before the 6 hours is up, Robbie, so don't worry. I would have done it on here. I almost brought out, I have an extra burner. I almost put that out and was gonna just put it in here and let it sit over there and cook. And then I thought, you know what? I never use my one pot. I should probably get it out. You just wouldn't buy a coconut. I mean, I don't really buy a coconut either. So Robbie has had this reaction right now. Because San Francisco just got the ball. Did they score too?
No.
No, but they got the ball. They intercepted. So Robbie may be a Cowboys fan. Okay, guess what's coming next? Because I have to look. Okay, so I'm going to make, while that is cooking, we're going to make the other two dinners for the week. One we're going to actually make almost completely other than the rice. I'll make the rice. We're making some, I actually have rice, so I don't need to make it. And that's going to be honey sesame chicken. And then the other one is going to be, we're just going to prep all the vegetables for another sheet pan dinner that's just going to be a chicken, it's either chicken or turkey, spicy sausage of some sort, sheet pan, which is honestly is such a great thing to do because it's so easy, and you go and you buy your sausage and you chop it up into coins and stick it in with a bunch of veggies that you like. But let's start with the honey sesame chicken. So, and I'm going to look and make sure I'm doing things in the right order here. I've already prepped my meat because I didn't want to be prepping meat and having to clean this off multiple times tonight. So we're going to do the sauce first, and then let's see here. And prepping all the other things. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm going to take, sorry, I haven't been, I need some clean things over here. So give me a second. To clean something. Maybe Robbie will entertain you by singing you a song. Or not. Maybe he won't.
This is the Dana Does the Dishes song.
How about if you do an interpretive dance? No. Okay. You're just lurking, doing some paperwork. It's fine. I know. We'd love him to do that. We'll have to figure out how to get him to do that. But I don't think it's going to be tonight.
There we go. Fajita Phantom did the song for me.
There we go. Dishes, dishes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need about 1/4 cup of this for the sauce. I don't know why this doesn't have 1/4 cup on it, does it? But that's about halfway to half. Soy sauce. I'm going to have to use tamari because I do not have enough gluten-free sauce, soy sauce. It is on my list. And I went to the grocery store today, but that list was not on the list I made. It's on a different list in a different place. Whose line is it anyway? Robbie likes that show.
It was a very good show.
Now we need some honey. Because it is a honey sesame chicken, so that makes sense that it would have honey in it. So we need 1/4 cup of that. It's almost time to buy more honey, Robbie. Honey is the one thing, did you know, Robbie? Honey is the one thing, the one food that does not spoil.
That's what I keep hearing.
Mm-hmm. So like you
But
can
how do we
see-
know that when it never sticks around very long? Because we eat it.
Because we have found very old honey in jars from a long time ago. All right, so even if it's like crystallized on this is getting heated up, I'm not worried about it. But if you're putting it into something else that's not getting heated up, you can just take your honey, stick it in the microwave, warm it up in the microwave, or, and this is the way I prefer it because I think sometimes the microwaves are just too hot, you can take a pot of water and heat up the water in it and then stick it in there. All right, 1/4 cup honey. So far we have a 1/4 cup chicken stock, 1/4 cup honey, 1/4 cup, it should be reduced sodium soy sauce. Mine's tamari. It's what I got. So it's what we're using. If only I had all of these things right here in front of me, it would be great. We need some sesame oil. It doesn't specify that it's supposed to be toasted, so we will not use toasted. We need a tablespoon of this. And I think I've got tablespoons on here. I do. So we'll just do it right on the same thing. Less for Robbie to clean up. Not really. There's a lot. He's going to have to do a lot. But it did make the week easier, didn't it, on dishes? Yeah. Or give it to Winnie the Pooh. We need a little bit of cornstarch in here. I'm not really sure why. This should thicken up without it, but they're the experts on this recipe. So we'll make a little slurry out of that as well. We need some red pepper flakes in here. We like things spicy around here. Robbie's gonna do some dishes for me. It's very exciting. I'm gonna put a little of this liquid in here so I can dissolve the cornstarch in there, just like I did the flour. Because I skip this step a lot of times when I'm streaming because I forget to do it. But not today, people. Today I'm remembering. All right, then we're gonna stir that up. That's our sauce. So our sauce is mostly ready. We could put this in a jar and shake it up. That would really help. Shake it up. Shake it up. I might be dating myself. Ooh, ooh. Shake it up. Dance all night. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Dance all night. Getting real loose. Go all night. Get real high. Well, we'll shake it up with all we got. Woo! Too much? Probably. Okay, so I'm going to do some broccoli and snap peas. Funny enough, I already have some that's left over from my salads this week. I know this doesn't look like I had a lot of broccoli, but I had a lot of broccoli. So this is about right for what I need. I'm just going to make these a little bit smaller. Let's see what it says here. How big? Chopped into small pieces. So we'll chop it into slightly smaller pieces for some of these, because some of these are kind of big. And we want them to be bite-sized, right? At least that's how. Some of you are like, I don't want it at all. Why are we putting Puppy Cam? I don't know how to do the puppy cam because you haven't shown me. Okay. Hold, please, while the dishwasher finishes dishes. And he will find the puppy cam. Fallen Age is like, yes, puppy cam. I love the puppy cam. So our cocktail tonight's a little on the healthier side too. We're going to be doing an elderflower spritz. We're going to be making it with some bubbles, which are always my favorite. I love bubble cocktails, whether they're champagne or Prosecco or whatever. And then, but what's great about it is if you're trying to watch your sugar and you like wine, champagne, Prosecco, all of those things have less sugar in it than, say, your red or white wines. So that's the way to go. And it's a good thing. I love them. That is the drink today. Thank you, Andy. Don't worry, we got more broccoli to chop. If you're like, that was disappointing. I was hoping you would be chopping more broccoli, Dana. Don't worry. There's more to come. All right, I also have snap peas, but mine are frozen. Are they in here? Where are the snap peas? There they are. So, because they didn't have any fresh ones, and thank you, Don Arnetto, for that follow. Is there supposed to be a sound with that? You're loud? Okay. Thank you so much for that follow. Welcome in. What brought you here? let's see, I need about 3 cups of this. I'm gonna just stick it in here with the broccoli and just guesstimate 3 cups of it. So welcome in, yes. Were there more people? Did I miss more people that followed Darth? This is what happens when my tech guy decides to wash the dishes in midstream. I can't blame him. Who wants to do, I need some of the dishes again, number one. So, nope, puppy cam. We gotta get that puppy cam for Pikes and Lady. Pikes and Lady. So yeah, so my Sunday things are, our Thursdays are kind of our indulge days. So we kind of do our fun recipe, our funner recipe. Funner?
That's a word.
Is it? Our funner recipes on that day. So basically, I just want my things to be kind of bite-sized. Because then, especially if you're taking this for a lunch, you may not want to have a knife in your bag. Maybe you work someplace where they're like, no, you can't have a knife. So you want to chop everything up into bite-sized pieces. So let's see, what am I supposed to do next? I'm going to just wipe out this pan here because it's pretty clean other than the oil in it. And we'll make this in there. I'm just trying to stay ahead of myself. Also, meal prep is so good if you're trying to watch what you eat, because you're more likely to cheat if you don't have the stuff you're supposed to be eating on hand. Or if you go out to eat. And I'm trying to get better about that. Like, I go out to eat and try to eat something that's better for me for the time being. That may change at some point. All right, we're gonna put some olive oil in here and heat that up again. I know, they're cute, aren't they? There's not a whole lot of light over there. Here, let's see if we can.
I could just move in there, Dana.
Oh, that's not what I wanted, is it?
How about we just move to the kitchen? Come along, pups.
All right, not working in there.
Puppy cam. If you look at that, suddenly we can see.
All right, so the chicken that I've got for this, I chopped up into little bite-sized pieces. I know you guys can't really see it too much. So it's 2 chicken breasts. I just did 2 chicken breasts and cut that up. I'm actually just gonna salt and pepper the top of this for now. A little easier to see now. Paul, thank you so much for resubscribing. Oh my gosh. And hey, Don, it's good to see you in here. What brought you here? So Paul, what is your word for the year? I need to do a rock for you. Thistlein oak, too. I mean, that is thistlein oak. I mean, Paul is part of thistlein oak. Robbie's trying to do 3 things here at once, but I need a word for you, Paul, and I need a word for thistlein oak. Maybe that can be Lindsay's word of the year, your word for the year, so it can go on your rocks. You're gonna have to leave. Well, Andy, thank you so much for being here.
Drink more, cook less, cheered 100.
Hype train.
Thank you.
Woohoo! A word. So look here. Let me show you. I'll show you a couple here. So this is Pops, right? So it has his name. It has a year. I have the rocks from last year that say 2022, and his word is a number. It's 190. I think that's because that's his goal. Space Texas has curiosity is their word. So my word for the year is health. I don't know what Robbie's is, but it should be patience. I'm just saying. All right, this recipe tells me to put the veggies in first and then put the meat in with the veggies. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually cook the chicken first, and then I'm going to Then I'm gonna vacate the chicken and add the veggies in there. So I'm gonna make it slightly more complicated. Rage? You want your word for the year to be rageful? I mean, I'll do it for you. What's cool is then I look at these all summer long, but maybe I'll hide yours in the back so I don't have to look at the word rage while I'm gardening. Should be crossed with Dart because he kept using his catchphrases at work. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, have a good night, Andy. We'll see ya. We'll see you later this week.
No pressure, Paul. You can let me know later, and I'll make sure it gets taken care of.
Don't worry, it took Darth like a week. A little more salt, a little more pepper. It's interesting it doesn't have me doing more with the chicken, to be honest. So we'll get that. Dinner with Mom.
Dinner with Mom
Thank
cheered
you
100.
For those bits.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll start. Did what? Oh, I don't know. Did we give a shout out to Thistle and Oak? Let's do it again. Let's do it again. So, if you guys are watching Thistle and Oak, Dinner with Mom is also in here. Go give them a follow. Thistle and Oak, you get kind of variety. You get music, you get food. And Dinner with Mom, of course, is awesome. It's like just hanging out in the kitchen with your mom. She's awesome. So, give those people a call. A call? Don't give them a call. Give them a follow. My brain is just on autopilot doing whatever. So you tell them 2 routes and say, whatever you prefer.
Who are you gonna call? Dinner with Mom.
You know, Dinner with Mom, I have clients who will, on the weekends or sometimes they'll just send me emails or whatever about stuff that's going on that they're not happy about at home. And my response to them is always, it's okay if you email and text me, but I'm not gonna answer you back unless it's an emergency and we need to get somebody into the hospital. Because people will just be like, things like, my husband's yelling at me right now and he's really being mean to me. Okay. I mean, that's why you're in marriage counseling, probably. So I kind of do the same thing. You can text me, but I'm not going to answer it. Sounds mean, but you got to have boundaries. Let's see, when it's time to cook and you need ideas, who you're going to call Dinner with Mom? Exactly. You're tempted to make it something silly like panache, but you should choose. Do you? Let's see, Elser did Hybroxia last year because they really wanted to get the game.
An unnamed person, their word was spaghetti tacos.
Morphine Bear. We'll say her name.
Okay.
Their name.
You call them out. That's fine.
Their name. They did it on the air. They asked for that to be their word. Egg fried cheese has cheesecake. So you do what you want to do. All right, I'm not too concerned about this cooking all of the way, but I do want it to get a little more brown, which means I should stop stirring it. Spaghetti tacos, it can be 2 words, it's fine. I appreciate that you are calling somebody out, though, on their word for the year. Are you going to call Pops out, whose word is a number? Which is still technically a word, but is it? Because 190, if you write it out, is multiple words.
Not if you hyphenate it.
Still multiple words that just happen to be hyphenated.
I'm trying to help out here, Pops. It's not working.
Okay. Do you want this to be a spicy dish, Robbie?
Oh, that's clever, Sarah Lynn.
What?
Miss Sarah Lynn, I like that.
Whiskey on the rocks. Next year, Sarah. I'm putting a lot of red pepper flakes on there. I hope you like spicy. If you type one, well, but that's numbers. That's numbers. If you write it
Mary
out.
Todd.
Mary Todd, hello. How are you doing? Give a shout out to Mary Todd. Hey, when are you streaming next? Do you know? I'm gonna vacate this.
Did you see Paul's question?
What was Paul's question?
Can mine be 3 words?
Sure.
Live, laugh, love?
Live. Sure, Paul. Would you like it to be live, laugh, love? Just remember, if I come and see you in Nashville, I will tell your friends that is your thing. Do we need to get the what is that for? Which company is that for? Be like your parents.
Or Dwayne, because he's the Rock.
Oh, you did it yesterday? Do you have a regular day, or do you just do it when you have time and are able to do a stream? I'm just trying to let people know when they can find you. Cook these a little bit. We'll stick the meat back in there. Probably need a little more oil in there. I hate putting cold oil in when I'm cooking, but you do what you got to do. You pop up, okay? Just go give her a follow so that you can get those notifications turned on so you know when she's on. Can you have a Fraggle Rock next year? You have a lot of choices for next year, don't you?
Sarah's ready to go for like the next decade at this point, I think.
She's like, can you do it next month so I can get one next month? And then the month after that so I can do all of these? And just have a line of Miss Sarah Lynn rocks with all of her puns. Still haven't figured out the reel about streaming. You know, I think it's really hard. You know, Robbie and I, when we started streaming, we said, we're going to start with 2 and kind of get a feel for it and figure out how it goes. And then we'll add another one in there. And then we were like, yeah, no. 2 is enough. I do yoga, but that's a little different.
Well, and it took a year and a half to get to that point.
Took a year and a half to get to that.
And, yeah.
Word of the month. I don't know that I had that many rocks, Miss Sarah Lynn. All of your friends are on the internet. You know, it's funny when all of the streamers came here to Texas. And by the way, Paul, we're doing it again in November. So I will, if you are interested in coming down for that, let me know. And I'll get you on the list. But
Sounds like it's been narrowed down to either the first weekend or second weekend of November.
It's either the first or second weekend in November. Yeah, it's not Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving weekend. Kunar is coming again, and we'll see who else makes it.
Sounds like Texas Hula will almost definitely be here.
Yeah, so we'll be a little more organized because we're going to give a lot more time. Because this last time, for a lot of people, we were like, hey, we know it's like 1.5 weeks away. You're not coming? Okay. I'm sorry that your trip was so bad, Dar. All right, that looks pretty good.
We'll just have to go to Buc-ee's without you, Dar.
I'll just eat all of the Philly cheesesteak burritos. Ooh, maybe we should do that tomorrow. Post pictures on Instagram for Darth. Would that be mean?
Discount. The streamers are coming to Texas again in November.
We're going to do another thing. Another thing. All right, now we're going to put our sauce in here. This is it. This is it. Boy, that honey did not stir in. We'll just have to stir it here. This is probably not the best thing to stir.
We'll stir the honey, honey.
Stir the honey. And in April, Robbie and I get to go to Italy. I'm so excited. Are you excited?
Sort of like a TwitchCon, yeah.
Kind of. So last time it kind of started out with Kanara coming into town, and then Darth decided to come into town, and so then everybody else that was here was from Texas. Texas Hula drove down, Pantry Elf. Oh no, Chef Nagin came in town, and Ice Cream Posse and Rusty. I didn't think of everybody there. Came into town, and then and Little Miss Nikki and Zero. And who am I?
Steve, George's hot sauce?
Chef Steve, George's hot sauce. Get Creme Delish. It was a lot of fun. So I'm going to put a top on this and let this finish cooking the chicken and getting that sauce a little thicker. And then that'll be our sesame chicken. So while we're doing that, let's just start cutting some produce. Now's the time.
Paul's word is patience.
Patience. Oh, that should be Robbie's. You should convince him that that needs to be his.
Hi, Mama Dukes.
Mama Dukes, hello, hello. Let's see. You invited yourselves. No, you didn't. I said, come on down. You said it sounds like fun. We're all like, we were happy. We were so happy you were here. Okay, I'm gonna just start chopping some things. Now's the time. Now's the time. Drink more Dr. Pepper. We've already got garlic. We've got enough garlic. See, look, you don't have to do garlic.
Were you trying to show me?
Was I trying to show you? Yeah, I was trying to show you to say you don't have to chop any garlic if this happens. I need to chop.
He's going back to the live, laugh, love. Maybe we'll just fit it all on there, Paul.
Maybe. So Paul, every year I do just a word. I don't do like New Year's resolutions because like less than 1% of the people can even remember what it was by December. So I have one word. It's actually on my board.
More Dr. Pepper cheered 500 to make Robbie cook for 5 minutes.
There you go.
Thank you.
She was lurking in there, just waiting.
More Dr. Pepper. I thought
waiting.
you were eating Chinese food for dinner.
All right. Cool. All right, here you go. While this is cooking. So I have a word. So my word this year is health, but I did have a year that was thank. And I can't remember the 3 words, but basically it was remembering to be grateful, remembering to ask for help, and remembering to find joy in every day.
What am I doing?
So you're gonna
Hi,
start.
Darth.
You're gonna start by chopping up some broccoli.
Does it go in this bowl or is this a trash bowl?
That's the bowl you're gonna give it in because, yeah.
Okay. Now, when chop,
So I would take off this bottom part first, but you do you.
I'm gonna do me.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, there's the trash bowl.
Yep. Now you wish we got the fast chopper, don't you?
Yeah, this is still more fun.
So we
So
were.
is that small enough, or you like really want it chopped up?
No, as long as they're in florets, it's okay. It should be okay. So we were at this demonstration for this chopper thing, and that my friend said we should come and see it.
Come hang out.
Come hang out. And we're like, that's fine. I mean, we had wine. We got a good dinner out of it. And one of the things he did is he made a chocolate cake, but he chopped up just random vegetables and put it in the chocolate cake. He used no oil. He only used eggs. And then just to show us that we don't really taste everything that's in our food, he threw a bunch of mustard in there.
Like, what are you doing?
We're like, what is going on? And it was pretty good.
I had a piece and a half, so
I
I'd
could
say
taste
so.
the mustard a little bit.
I couldn't really. It was more the texture of the random
The random vegetables in
vegetables. I
there.
was like, eh.
So don't be afraid if you're trying to get more vegetables, you can throw them into things.
It was
a lot of
probably the
times.
healthiest chocolate cake I've ever had.
Thank you, Miss Sarah Lynn. I am hydrating. Thank you for the hydrate. I do need to drink more water because I have not had enough today. All right, I don't want to overcook this. I'm going to take this off now. Hopefully that chicken should be cooked. And let's get that sauce to reduce down and get stickier. Because sticky sauce on the Chinese food is good.
And it should be sticky with all that honey.
I know. All right, what are you gonna chop next? Where's my
All the
list?
choppings.
I've already done the snap peas. I need carrots for two things. Not, I think
I've
that's
gotten better.
okay. All right. Yes, you have gotten better. But that's because you get a lot of practice now.
Unfortunately, more Dr. Pepper. One day, it might be her turn.
All right. You know what I don't really like doing here? I'm gonna let you do onions.
So it's all about what Dana doesn't want to do. I see.
I mean, if you want to look at the list and make heads or tails of it. That's done.
Boy,
Ooh,
that's a
you know what
mess.
else I want you to do?
Do you want this in there or you want me to throw this away?
No, that can get thrown away. It's the thing over here. Here.
Oh, I was just going to scrape it off into the sink.
Okay. I'm gonna give him the jalapenos. Do you want gloves for the jalapenos?
Nope.
You're just gonna muscle through it, huh?
I'm going to touch my eyes and everything.
Excellent. Excellent.
See, that
As
was
long
that,
as there's
that was,
chocolate,
that was
eat
my
it.
saying. So
It ruins the idea of chocolate. You would think so. So Drinkwazer, I
I
tried
only have a
it.
couple minutes left. Which one am I doing?
This.
Okay. Chicken.
No, I'm not a chicken.
Chicken.
I just don't want to. I'm not a chicken. All right, do you know what you're doing with them?
I'm going to cut it in half. Yes.
Okay.
And then you want the seeds out of there.
Yes.
Do I have a spoon or something to do that?
Am I your gopher over here?
Are you my goat?
My gopher?
Bah, wait, no. That's not the right one?
So Drinkwazer, you would think. Oh, it was a reminder for Robbie to hydrate. Okay.
Okay, I will do so after my 5 minutes because I don't want to, pretend like I don't love chopping.
Ooh, you're at the restaurant eating some yellow curry. Yum, yum. So, Drinkwazer, I'll finish my thought there. You would think I was very skeptical, and I ate it, and I was like, yeah, I would eat this. This is
You
cake.
made me eat it first because you were so skeptical. You were very worried.
Ooh, I know the other thing I'm gonna have.
And it wasn't
to
just
chop.
you, everyone was worried. They're like, eh.
Yes. Cut into bite-sized pieces does not mean use your teeth. No, no.
No, that's happened before though. I had to learn. There's a lot of yelling.
For me?
Can't joke around at all on this show. Very serious. Who knew?
This sauce did not thicken up. And I don't want to cook it anymore because the broccoli is hammered.
Why is there a hammer in the kitchen, Dana?
For opening coconuts.
Oh, okay. Good enough answer. I'll allow it. So did you want these chopped or sliced or?
No, minced. I don't like to get big giant chunks of
Minced
jalapeno.
meat's tiny, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I do have a wooden spoon. I don't really have a hammer in here. All right, I'm gonna set this aside, let this cool down a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it away, but I'm gonna try it. The sauce is really good, but it needs something more to help thicken it up, maybe. Maybe if it sits a little bit, it'll thicken up, who knows?
Is that tiny enough?
I mean, it's okay, yeah. You're getting better.
That's what every guy wants to hear. Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
That was an okay job, honey.
You should be at the arcade right now. Why are you not there? You tried to phrase that without getting in trouble. Yes.
Paul, you can even do capital C, LAP. Give it a try. It'll work for Dana's anyway. I don't know if it'll work if you don't have the extension. Or your own emote too. That's also a very good one.
Yes, that's a good one right there.
I feel like I'm being watched.
Did that happen at Christmas too, when everybody was watching you
Carve
carve?
every time.
Yeah. See? You're very not safe for work, but you tone it down when you need. You know, see, I tone stuff down here. Trust me. There is a as Darth likes to say, it's Dana after dark. So on the jalapeno, you guys know it's the ribs that are really spicy, not the seeds, right? Seeds are not spicy. I tell this all the time because Kanara taught it to me. The seeds are bitter, but if you don't take the seeds out and you leave the ribs, it will heighten the heat in the ribs. So it just depends on what you want.
Uh-oh, I dropped one.
Yeah. So he's really more chopping these than he is mincing these. And that is a lot of rib right there. Back to work.
What rib? It's gone now.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Paul.
We love it when you can come. Be here. Otis is over here going, what's going on? Why did the sink just turn on? My sink randomly decides to turn on. That's a problem with a no touch.
Could be an issue.
Yeah. Well, we need to remember to turn it completely off at night.
I try to.
I don't always do that.
All right, now this
Look
is
at
the
all
part where I touch my eyes, right?
Yes, this is the time. It could be a ground issue.
Done.
It does it sometimes if the
All right, I'll let you finish up.
there's steam. You need to put it in this bowl. You can't do part of your job.
Sure I can.
No, you can't.
Clearly you haven't worked with many accountants, Dana.
I've worked with lots of accountants.
That's fine. The next one will fix it. Maybe.
He's got to clean the cutting board off here.
You need it cleaned?
No,
Yes?
it's good.
Okay.
No, it's good. We're just chopping all the vegetables that we're going to need, and that'll make everything else go so much faster. Okay. So now, we've already done the snap peas. I don't need to do those. Don't really need, I've already got a bunch of carrot slices. I pulled carrots out, but then I realized in here somewhere, don't tell me we got rid of them. That would be sad. Then I do have to slice the carrots. There's so much stuff in here. There's quinoa. There they are. So I already have some carrot slices that were for my salad, and I did so many of them, and I don't like a ton of carrots on my salad. So we've got carrots for days. Carrots for days. So, speaking of faulty hardware, Viscount. All right, here you go. Here's some ice for you that decided to join me. So it's infuriating, only slightly faulty hardware, yes. Drink more Dr. Pepper says you did a great job. All right, so next, we've already got the carrots. I don't need those done, but I am gonna need some carrots when I start doing the smoothies. I will worry about those later. I do need some red peppers. Let's get those chopped up. I'm just gonna start moving stuff over here and out of my way until I need them. All right. I'm gonna clean this a little bit more here. It's about time for me to condition this board too. Get that all off of there. Okay, red bell pepper. Oh, look, it's starting to grow a baby bell pepper on the inside. So I think with this, I need about 1-inch pieces sliced up for it. Maybe a little smaller, we'll see. I'm gonna do some a little bit smaller than that because I know I need these for 2 recipes. So that can be my smaller pieces.
Oh, right, I was supposed to hydrate. I'm hydrating, Sarah.
So one of these I know is going on the sheet pan, and that's going to be these slices. They're a little bit bigger than 1 inch, but I don't really think that matters. But I think one of my salsas may have red pepper in it, and that's got to be a little bit, that's got to be a smaller, like a dice. All the slicing. So much fun, right? So for February, what I'm thinking of doing, I have to think whether I'm going to do Super Bowl food on Super Bowl. I probably will because it just seems like that's the thing you should be doing on a Sunday. But what I want to do, and then on probably the first Sunday, we'll do the redemption for Pops, which is a sushi bake, is what he wants. I've never made one of those. Pops always gives me kind of weird things I've never made before to make. I love it. I need to stop saying That's what I need to stop doing. And the rest of the month, I want to learn and kind of dive into the different regional cuisines of Mexico. So I'm thinking that most of the rest of the month, that's what we're going to be doing, is looking at the different regions of Mexico and doing what those foods are, so that you know, where does the birria come from? Where does, see, I did it again. I said, where does, I don't know, seafood tacos come from?
Japan.
That comes from Japan. So I'm doing regional foods of Mexico, and I'm going to make something that is from Japan.
You asked me where they came from.
Things like that, because who doesn't love Mexican food?
Hi, Whisking Unicorn.
Whisking Unicorn, hello. Hello, how are you? Because I know a lot of Mexican food dishes. I know where some of them come from. But as I got a regional cookbook for Mexican cooking, and I found out that there's a lot I didn't know. So I want to kind of learn it, so you get to learn it with me.
Sounds
Lucky
good, Viscount. We'll probably still be going.
Okay, come hang out. We still have a dinner to make, burrito bowl stuff, and then the smoothies, the smoothie prep. So when we do the smoothies, what we're going to be doing is just putting all the ingredients together in one thing so that I can just pour it into the blender in the morning. And family 910, I may need information from you because the BlendJet is for some reason not charging. You're sad you missed last week's yoga class. Oh, good. I'm glad you're planning on being there tomorrow. So yeah, if you don't know, I do yoga on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Central. No experience necessary. You can just show up. I try to do a good job giving you...
Gentle yoga.
It's gentle yoga. Set your intention for the week. Be more aware. Wow, I just chopped those in wildly different sizes. Because I'm not paying
I
attention.
feel like I'm a bad influence on your chopping skills, Dana.
I get to talking and I'm not quite paying attention. I get an autopilot. That's what happens. You need to go to yoga again. It does help your back. When you practice regularly, there's so many benefits to yoga. It's crazy. I am a certified yoga teacher. Just so you know, I'm not a random person trying to teach yoga. I'm not saying that they can't be good, because I've been to some and they're amazing. But I do have the training. So I think I'm pretty good at giving the cues. I try to give modifications for those of you who maybe have to sit in a chair or maybe need assistance. So maybe you use a chair or a wall, and you can just let me know, and I'll make sure that I give you cues to match what you need as your modifications. Because yoga is not about wearing Athleta and Lululemon and being a stick figure.
Monday mornings now, Viscount, at 10 a.m. Central.
I do, yes. Thank you. And it's like a yoga class. It's not just me doing yoga. So we all get to do yoga together. All right, hopefully that's small enough for what I need it for, because I didn't write down what I need it for. All right, I'm gonna need to, did I do that? Where is the red peppers? Red peppers, lunch pieces.
So with
Okay.
that, yoga starts in a little over 15 hours.
Oh my gosh. Don't even do that to me. Because the thing is that we have to use the same cameras and stuff. So when we're done, after we clean the kitchen, we go set up for yoga. So we are going to do, I'm going to do some zucchini coins here. I think I need to do zucchini coins. Yeah, sliced.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right.
Elser says that
You'll be fast.
asleep.
You can always go watch the VOD. We will keep the VOD up on Twitch as long as they let us for 2 months, and then we will move them over to YouTube. Actually, I move them over to YouTube after a couple of days usually.
This is where I start getting nervous.
I know. Did you get nervous watching the other guy use the other shredding machine?
You saw my face. Yes.
He's like, you're gonna cut yourself. Even though he's probably demoed that thing several hundred
That's
times.
how it gets you, overconfidence.
Yeah. True.
You let your guard down, and
Lots of good-
there goes a finger.
Lots of good dad jokes. All right, zucchini, done. Onions. Let's get the onions sliced. You know what? I'm going to cheat. I usually like chopping, but tonight we're doing so much. The guy was like, so you don't like to chop, do you? And I'm like, yeah, actually, I do like to chop stuff. So we're gonna use the mandolin, my mini mandolin. I don't want to take off the next layer because Pops may yell at me. He'll be like, why are you wasting onion?
We're just trying to not waste food, Dana.
It's not really that big of a deal. All right. The red onion, however, I will have to chop. This is where he gets nervous. Hey, at least your team is tied. Robbie's also watching the football game while he's doing this. Uh-oh. Did you guys fumble? Interception? Another interception. Cowboys allowed another interception, everybody. In case you weren't sure who Robbie roots for. Woo! This onion is potent. Potentent. I'm hot and ready. It didn't come, it did not. I do actually have one of those gloves. But what fun is that?
She just chooses not to use
Live
it hot and ready.
dangerously. Live dangerously. There is something relaxing about chopping and doing prep. And you know, if I'm just cooking us dinner, and I'm not usually in a hurry, I just know that in January I have a tendency to be pretty busy, and so I don't cook as much and we end up eating out a lot. So we're doing the prep now, and I don't want to be here all night. Robbie does not want to be here all night. All right, one more yellow onion for this. And I hope I'm right about this. Otherwise I will have extra chopped onions. There's hairs all over this.
Not hairs.
Yeah, hairs. And they're onion hairs. Oh my gosh. Onion, cooperate. Who else talks to their food? Anybody? Is it just me? So if I'm going to Tuscany, what should I learn to make? What would you like me to learn how to make?
You mean like if you were to take a cooking class there?
Yes. Since the place we're staying at said they could help me get a cooking class.
Well, maybe we'll have a better idea later. Was that helpful?
No. It was not at all.
Sorry, my mind was just thinking about the lasagna that we're making on Thursday and how delicious that'll be.
Ooh.
Did you know Swedish meatballs are actually a Turkish dish?
I did not know that. I did not. Let's see, how long have these been in there? They've been in there for about an hour. Let me finish chopping stuff up and then we will pull those out and see.
Did you have an idea of when you wanted the beverage made for the evening?
Yes, I did, as soon as I finish this glass of water.
Oh, I thought she was just gonna down the whole thing and say, get to work.
I mean, I've done that. That is good information, Waylam. I like the information. If I'm preparing a dish, like let's say I'm making a dish, I made it for the first time, I'll do a little research so I can share it with you guys. But since this is more meal prep and less about, it's less about knowing like details about each dish. Does that make sense? So we're gonna hope it turns out well. Oh, my eyes.
The onions.
I should have had you do the onions.
But she decided on jalapeno. More Dr. Pepper with the puppy cam. Boy, puppy cam has been popular today.
Now that it's working.
Where did the actual camera go?
I have not touched
Oh, found it.
it. All right, I gotta get those away from me. Oh my gosh. Woo! All right. Those onions are done. That's done. I need to do some corn. That'll be for a salsa that we're doing. So I probably only need 2 here.
Puppy cam.
This is the way I like to do corn. It helps keep it from making a giant mess.
Puppy cam.
Then I put a bowl in here or something and cut down that way. I have seen now they make things to cut corn. So I guess if you do this a lot, you know, you can have that unitasker in your
Hi,
kitchen.
Teets TV.
Teets TV, hello. Is it morning for you? I mean, it's 7 o'clock p.m. here.
Australia, right? Isn't it?
Are you in Australia?
I think I'm remembering that correctly.
Hey guys, so at the end of February, I will be doing a cooking competition on Teets TV, and I will let you know more about that as we get closer. I think it's on February 25th, so we'll be on an off day, a day I don't normally stream. So I'll be on an extra day that week. It's technically morning. I did the same. You know what I did? I mean, even today, it was not the morning here, and it was the morning at the other person's place because they were an hour behind me. And I still say good morning. All right, let's get the corn in here. It just sounds better, right? Good morning is better than good afternoon. At least in my world. In the afternoon, if I say good afternoon, it means I'm probably behind my schedule for the day already. Those are the puppies. It's Rocky and Otis. They're looking for their treats because they're on puppy cam. All right, let's do the cauliflower. I'm gonna chop that up real quick. That won't take long. And then I have a red onion to dice. And then I think I'm done until we get the stuff for the smoothies. Puppies. Yes, Rocky the Velociraptor learned to love Darth very, very quickly. Otis loves Sarah because she left her slider unattended during a party.
Oh, sure. Blame Sarah.
I mean, if you leave it unattended. Luckily, the dogs were okay. So all is well. Okay. Let's cut these baby up. You know what these cauliflower are going to be? Darth, cover your ears. This may sound like sacrilege to you. So when I'm making the stuff for the burrito bowls, I'm making a chicken thing for it, but I'm also going to do cauliflower so that if I need to do a vegetarian, like I need more vegetables in my day, then I have an option for that. But don't tell Darth. He'll yell at me. He'll say, that's not right. He didn't like my turkey bacon. And I said, I'm only doing it because I'm trying to be healthy. Let's see, there's that bowl. Where's the other small? Oh, it's got broccoli in it already. Well, there you go. Let me rinse this out. Just has corn in it. And then it's just gonna have cauliflower in it. So that's what's gonna be on in here. Is it, we're having that problem again? You were here, yes you were. That's not good. Why are we having such a problem?
See all these dips?
Huh?
Each one of those dips is supposed to be right now, red, yellow, back to green, red, yellow, back to green.
It's like a rainbow rave. Huh. Well, we don't really like our internet provider here. They switched. It used to be Verizon, but then they were bought out by Frontier. And ever since Frontier's taken over, it's better now than it was at the beginning. At the beginning, it was horrible. I mean, like where I worked, which is an inpatient treatment center, we couldn't even use our phones. Like one day, our internet was down, and it took them all day, and I was doing all telehealth that day, so I had to cancel. I just sat there at work, did nothing. I couldn't write notes. I couldn't see clients. There was literally nothing I could do. We hung out and just talked. You blame the Dallas Cowboys. Hippie! Hippie! Hello, Raiders. Welcome in. Hello, Raiders. Learn history and geography. What a great name. I love history. I'm kind of bad at geography, but hello Ginger Tea, hello Flutterby Squishy, welcome in Raiders. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dana. I am a home chef up here in North Texas, and I am always here with Robbie, my tech guy, my dishwasher, my dog wrangler, my logistical elevation technician, Sherpa, sometimes sous chef. And I don't know, we've got lots of bartender. Oh, can't forget bartender, because he's about to do that. And my 2 dogs who are scavenging for food right now. And I'm like, you want cauliflower? Have at it, have at it. So Old Man Tiger Balm, hello, welcome in. We are so glad that you are here. So Hippie, how did everything turn out? I know that you were like, I think it was the moon pies, you were like, they're a little gritty. But you had a great menu. Hippie today was doing, if you haven't followed Hippie, give Hippie a follow, was doing a menu dedicated to kind of the Lunar New Year here. Mine has nothing to do with anything other than meal prep, trying to be healthy this week. Don't worry, I think there's only one more meal prep stream, and then we'll go back to our regular programming. So let's get these off. I'm just prepping all the vegetables, kind of doing my mise en place so that the rest of this will go by a little bit faster. So, you love the apron? Yes, Robbie's mother got that for me. I don't think she knows me at all. So, there we go. Let's see here. But I need Robbie to get me a cocktail here in a minute. I'm almost done chopping. That's our cauliflower. Let's see. I think I've got a couple more things left. The red onion. I need to dice a red onion. And I need to do these adobe chilies, chipotles.
She is using
adobo.
all the bowls tonight, Hippie.
I'm using a lot.
All the
How many
bowls.
did you use, Hippie? How many bowls did you use? Am I going to win? Or are you going to win tonight? Whoops. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, don't get right under my feet. I guess Otis likes cauliflower. Let's get that off of the knife. Moon cakes. They were actually good. Rice cakes and beef skewers and rice cake, how do you say that? Suo? You stop keeping track of how many bowls? So 10. See, I don't know how many because Robbie washes dishes in the middle of the stream sometime. So, did we give a shout out to Teeds TV? Okay, I just want to make sure. Because you want to make sure that you're following Teeds TV, and we'll be doing Follow Teeds TV too. We'll be doing that cooking competition on February 25th. It'll be a lot of fun. I've been doing a lot of things in other people's channels lately, and I know that Pops wants to put together. That's Rocky. He is part Velociraptor. So. is we're thinking of doing a regrettable food collab. So getting out the old cookbooks of mom or grandma's recipes, the ones that you kind of go like, why? Why did you even make this? And see if we can figure out the answer to that question. There we go. That's the Velociraptor. Sometimes he just needs his mom. He just wants to talk to me. Yes, truly a terrifying being. He can be. You don't want to get near him when he's hungry or eating or tired. We've learned. He is about 2.5 now. Otis, on the other hand, will be 16 this year. He'll be 16 in June. Isn't that crazy? And he walked a whole mile today with us. Or he got dragged some of the time. We just dragged him. Because Rocky's in front. Rocky's like, let's go! Otis is like, it's a beautiful day. Let me smell this over here. I think I need to smell this over here. Maybe I just want to stand here randomly and stare into space for a while.
Otis does do a lot of staring.
Sometimes he'll just walk into the room and he'll be like, and you'll be like, dude, what do you need? What do you need? He's just standing. Hover dog, yes. Or Hoover dog. Hover or Hoover? So, I think, other than the adobe chilies, until we get to the smoothies, I don't have anything else to chop.
You assume correctly.
Which is what? Yes, both. Exactly. They hover so they can hoover. You can't have onions, though. See, he's over here just staring, like, at the wall. Right now. Poor thing. Okay, I'm going to move. No, I've got to do these. This is the fun one. I have to go off camera and get some bowls. There we go. So these are chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. If you have never had these before, they are super, super hot. So what a chipotle is, in case you're unfamiliar with that, I think I only need a few of these. So chipotles are dried jalapenos. So their flavor intensifies, their heat intensifies. Then you put them in a chipotle adobo sauce, it's fire. So some people are like, oh, I'm just gonna dump this sauce in with my chilies. And it's like, you can, but know that you're gonna have an incredibly spicy thing. So you better like spice. To the point